Breeze project book. Today I am going to show you my baking zone. I had a question from a viewer who said she noticed in my pantry video that I didn't have any baking items, and she was wondering where did I store it. Well, I was going to show you that today, and the reason behind why I created a baking zone or a baking area. My thought process behind this is my pantry is so small, I thought it would benefit me better if I took all the baking items out of the pantry and utilized that space more beneficially and store my baking items closer to the kitchen in an area that was closer to your refrigerator, your sink, and the garbage, because these are the areas that you use more when you're baking. So I decided to put it here. Now, before I show you the video and why I did what I did, I wanted to give you a brief look at the location of my baking zone. This is where my baking zone is located in these three areas: the cabinet, the counter, and this drawer. So this is the kitchen on this side, and you can see that there's a bank of cabinets here. And the baking zone, so like I said, is furthest on the left near the refrigerator and the sink. So let's get started, and I will show you the first area, which is this cabinet. The first thing you may notice is everything is stored in mason jars. I chose mason jars because they are an excellent source for storage. They are airtight, you can see through them, and they come in various sizes, plus they look nice. And being that I am a little OCD, they're easy to keep the area clean and organized. And I have 3 shelves of these mason jars, and they are labeled using the Avery label mason jar sheets. And I purchased those at Office Max for, I think, between, I can't remember, $5 to $6 maybe. I don't think it was no more than 10, but don't quote me on that. It's easy to use because they also provide a template you can use online. So all you do is type your information, insert your label sheet in your printer, and follow the instructions and print. Simple. So I'm going to give you a better view, if I can zoom in on the first shelf here. There. And the first shelf, you see there is brown sugar, powdered sugar, pecans, and semi-sweet chocolate. And the reason I put these up here on this top shelves is because these are my least used items. I try to keep the items that I use on a more daily basis closer to me. And as you can see, the labels that I printed off the Avery label using that template, and each label is on all of the jars. The second shelf is more the items that I use, and it's the unsweetened chocolate, the baking soda, raisins, baking powder, and powdered chocolate. And they have the same labels. Now, I'm not a videographer, y'all, so you might see the camera going in and out, so try to give you a better view, so bear with me. And this is what they look like on a closer up. Okay. The third shelf is where I keep all my daily use items. And they're, if you notice, are in bigger jars. Each mason jar, as I said, they come in various sizes, as you can see. Medium size is on the top shelf there. And the second shelf, there's various sizes. There is the small size and then the very small size. And then these shelf here that I'm getting ready to talk about is the large mason jars. And in these large mason jars, I store my flour, my frying flour, my granulated sugar, and my biscuit flour. And they also have the labels on each of the jars. Now inside each of the jars I have a scoop. See, not a good videographer. I have a scoop where I can easily scoop out what I need and measure in my measuring cups. And speaking of measuring cups, that is on the last shelf. And I have several sizes of measuring cups. I have a large size, and I have the measuring cups in these small white measuring cups with various sizes on them, because sometimes you want to use these instead of the glass ones. I was told that the glass one is better served for liquid, and these little cups here is for all your dry ingredients when you have the various measuring cups set like this. They're better used for your dry ingredients. And under this rack here, this is where I bought this at Bed Bath & Beyond for $4.99. And under that is my measuring, not measuring, my mixing bowls in various sizes. I even have the very small ones where I put all my ingredients when I get ready to start baking. Over on this side is where I keep my blender blades for my blender, and there are various sizes. I think there's a dough blade back there and a metal blade, and this one in the front is what I use most, and that's for mixing. And that's the last shelf. Over on the door is where I have my extracts. And this little item here, I needed something to store my extracts in. I didn't want them on the shelf because they would be easy accessible, and it's already cramped on this shelf. So I decided to purchase a rack. And this rack is actually a kitchen, or is it a bathroom shower rack where you can have stored on your shower. In the back here, you can see these little suction cups. I used a hot glue gun to have that adhere to the cabinet. And these suction cups is, I guess they provide it so you could easily stick them on your bath or a shower wall. And I used this, like I said, for my flavorings. And I thought that was a good idea to put that on the door. And this is the area where I have all my dry goods for all of my baking, my bowls, and my mixing blades, and my measuring cups. And I'll give you a overall look again. And that is for the cabinet. Now I will show you the top of the counter. The next area of my baking zone is where I place my mixer. And my mixer is placed right up under the cabinet where my baking items are, all of my dry goods, what I just showed you. And I thought this would be a good location for that because it's closer to my baking cabinet and the refrigerator and the sink. So if I need something out of the refrigerator, I can easily access the eggs, for example. Or if I made a spill or a splash, I can easily wipe it up from the sponge and the sink. And that's the reason why I chose my mixer to be stored here. Now I'm going to show you my drawer. My drawer holds all of my baking tools, as you see here, and each of the tools are laid on a a grip mat where I can pull my drawer in and out without that sliding. And I think this is a great item to have. So if you guys are doing your drawer organizing, don't forget your mat, your grip mat, so it will keep those items you're storing in place. Okay. In my utensil drawer is laid out nice and neat, and each utensil is labeled, so if we have to use the utensil and put it in the dishwasher, we can easily know where to place it back. And this is really beneficial for my husband, so he doesn't have to ask me, where did this rolling pin go, or where did these measuring spoons go? It would be simple. It would be in this drawer and placed in this drawer where the labels are. And let me turn it sideways so you can get a better look. The rolling pin is on this side, and then I have another set of measuring cups here. I have two sizes of whisk, the small and a large, as you can see. And then I have all my measuring spoons in various sizes and two sizes of spatula. Now, to give you a better look at what the labels look like, they're clear labels done on my label machine, so it will be easily read. And the reason why I use the clear labels, you can easily read them when I stick them onto this mat. And I didn't want to use the white labels because you can see there's big old white pieces of tape on this mat here, and it just wouldn't look nice. So I decided to use the clear labels, and I think it looks better. Okay, so I turn around so you can see on this side. And this consists of my drawer for my baking utensils. Okay, so that's it for my baking zone, which is these areas again, this cabinet, this counter, and this drawer. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. If you have any tips, I will appreciate them, and leave those below also. And until the next time, you guys, I hope this gave you some tips on how you can set up your baking area or your baking zone in your kitchen. And I will see you on the next video. Smooches.